far-off kingdom,
more than anything,
with the young maiden, a sad young lad,
more than jewels,
and a childless baker,
more than life,
I wish,
his life,
more than anything,
more than ballroom, I wish, king is holding a festival, more than life, I wish to go to the festival,
more than riches. I wish my cow would give us some milk,
more than anything,
I wish we were a child.
I wish to go to the festival, I wish. You wish to go to the festival?
The poor girl's mother had died.
You, Cinderella, the festival. You wish to go to the festival, the King's Festival.
And her father had taken for his new wife
The festival.
a woman with 2 daughters of her own.
Look at your nails, look at your dress. Why you will nevertheless. You still wish to go to the festival and dance before the prince.
All three were beautiful of face, but vile and black of heart. Jack, on the other hand, had no father, and his mother,
I wish.
well, she was not quite beautiful.
I wish my son were not a fool. I wish my house was not a mess. The cow was full of milk. I wish the walls were full of gold. I wish a lot of things. You foolish child, what heaven's name are you doing with the cow inside the house?
A warm environment might be just what Milky White needs to produce his milk.
It's a she. How many times must I tell you only she's can give milk? Why come in, little girl?
I wish. It's not for me, it's for my granny in the woods. A loaf of bread, please. To bring my poor old hungry granny in the woods. Just a loaf of bread, please.
Cinderella's stepmother had a surprise for her.
I have emptied a pot of lentils into the ashes for you. If you'll pick them out again in 2 hours' time, then you shall go to the ball with us.
And perhaps a sticky bun or 4.
Birds in the sky, birds in the eaves, in the leaves, in the fields, in the castles and ponds.
And a few of those pies,
birds, down from the eaves, over leaves, in the fields, out of castles and ponds.
No squeeze now.
Swiftly sift through the ashes into the pot. Listen well, son, leave Milky White to Mother.
Oh no, he's the best cow.
Why? She's been dry for a week. With no food nor money and no choice but to sell her while we can still command her.
But Milky White's my best friend in the whole world.
Look at her! There are bugs on her ducks. There are flies in her eyes. There's a lump on her rump big enough to be a hump.
But
Son, you've no time to sit and dither while her breathers with her whicker. And no one keeps a cow for a friend. Sometimes I fear you're touched.
into the woods, it's time to go. I need to leave, I have to go. Into the woods, it's time, so I must begin my journey. Into the woods and through the trees to where I am expecting them. Into the woods to grandmother's house. Into the woods to grandmother's house.
You're certain of your way.
The way is clear, the light is good. I have no fear, nor no one should. The woods are just trees, the trees are just wood. I sorta hate to ask it, but do you have a basket?
don't stray and be late.
And save some of those sweets for Granny.
Into the woods and down the dell, the path, the tree, I know it well. Into the woods and who can tell what's waiting on the journey. Into the woods to bring some bread to Granny, who is sleeping red. Never can tell what lies ahead, for all that I know she's already dead. But it's the woods, it's the woods, it's the woods to grandmother's house and home before dark.
Back to the eaves and the leaves and the fields and the
shooting accident. Well, that's what he believed. He was eager to start a family of his own and was concerned that all efforts until now had failed.
Who might that be?
We have sold our last loaf of bread.
It's the witch from next door. We have no bread.
Of course you have no bread.
What do you wish?
It's not what I wish. It's what you wish. Nothing cooking in there now, is there?
The old enchantress went on to tell the couple how she had placed a spell on their house.
What spell?
In the past, when you were no more than a babe, your father brought his young wife and you to this cottage. They were a handsome couple, but not handsome neighbors. You see, your mother was a child and she had developed an unusual appetite. She took one look at my garden and told your father that what she wanted more than anything in the world was greens, greens, and nothing but greens. Parsley, peppers, cabbages, and celery, asparagus, and lettuce, and vinaigrette, and lettuce. He said, all right, but it wasn't quite, because I caught him in the autumn in my garden one night. He was robbing me, raping me, rooting through my rutabaga, reading my arugula, and bringing up the rampion, my champion, my favorite. I should have let a spell on them right there. Could have turned them into a stone, or a dog, or a chair, or a... Ugh! But I let him have the rampion, and what's to spare? In return, however, I said fair is fair. You can let me have the baby that your wife will bear. And we'll call it square.
I had a brother?
No! But you had a sister.
But the witch refused to tell him any more of his sister. Not even that her name was Rapunzel. She went on.
I thought that I had been more than reasonable, and that we all might live happily ever after. But how was I to know what your father had also hidden in his pocket? You see, when I inherited that garden, my mother warned me that I would be punished if I were to lose any of the beans. Beans? The special beans. I let him go. I didn't know he'd stolen my beans. I was watching him crawl back over the wall when bang crashed the lightning flash. Oh, that's another story. Never mind. Anyway, I left him in and I made my claim. Oh, I'll take away the baby. They shrieked and screeched, but I did, and I hid it where she'll never be reached. And your father cried when your mother died. And for extra measure, I admit it was a pleasure. I said sorry. I'm still not mortified, and I laid a little spell on them. You too, son. That your family tree would always be a barren one. So there's no more fuss, and there's no more scenes in my garden thrives. You should see my nectarines. And I'm telling you the same I tell kings and queens. Don't ever, never, ever mess around with my greens. Especially the beans.
Market and fetch the best price you can. Take no less than £5. Are you listening to me?
Yes.
How much are you to ask
No
for?
more than 5 pounds.
Less than 5. Jack, 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 head in a sack. The house is getting colder. This is not a time for dreaming. Chimney stack starting to crack. The mice are getting bolder. The floor's gone slack. Your mother's getting older. Your father's not back. And you can't just sit here dreaming pretty dreams. To wish and wait for day to day will never keep the wolves away. So into the woods, the time is now. You have to live, I don't care how. Into the woods to sell the cow. You must begin the journey. Straight to the woods and don't delay. You have to face the marketplace. Into the woods to journey's end.
To the woods to sell a friend.
Someday you'll have a real pet, Jack.
A piggy?
Meanwhile, the witch, for purposes of her own, explained how the baker might lift the spell.
You wish to have the curse reversed? I'll need a certain potion first. Go to the wood and bring me back. 1. The cow is white as milk. 2. The cape is red as blood. 3. The hair is yellow as corn. 4. The slipper is pure as gold. Bring me these before the chime of midnight. In 3 days' time, and you shall have, I guarantee, a child as perfect as child can be. Go to the wood!
life's begun. Good night, Father. I wish.
Down in Father's hunting jackets.
6 beans?
I wonder if they are the...
Witch's beans. We'll take them with us.
No, you are not coming.
I know you are fearful of the woods at night.
The spell's on my house. Only I can lift the spell. The spell's on my house.
We must lift this
No, you're not to come. That's my house. Now, what am I to return with?
You don't remember? The cow is white as milk, the cape is red as blood, the hair is yellow as corn, the slipper is pure as gold.
The cow is white as milk, the cape is red as blood, the hair is
And so the baker reluctantly set off to meet the enchantress's demands. As for Cinderella,
She wished to go to the
The
festival.
cow is white as milk, the
How am
cape is
I
red
ever
as
to get
blood,
to the
the hair is
festival?
white as
I
blood.
don't want this and mother's great. The slipper is a treat. Tell her I just want to go to the King's festival.
Into the woods, it's time to go. It may be all in vain, I know. Into the woods, but even so, I have to take the journey. Into the woods, the path is straight. I know it well, but who can tell? Into the woods to lift the spell.
To the woods to visit mother. To the woods to fetch the things.
To make the potion.
To go to the festival. To the woods without regret. The choice is made, the task is set. Into the woods but not forgetting why I'm on the journey. Into the woods to get our wish. I don't care how the time is now.
To the woods to get the money.
To the woods to lift the spell.
To make the
To
potion.
go to the festival.
To the woods to grandmother's house. To the woods to grandmother's house.
The way is clear, the light is good. I have no fear, nor no one should. The woods are just trees, the trees are just wood.
No need to be afraid, there's something in the glade there.
Into the woods without delay, but careful not to lose the way. Into the woods who knows the may be lurking on the journey. Into the woods to get the thing that makes it worth the journey. Into the woods to see the king. To make the potion, to see, to sell, to bet, to bring, to make, to live, to go to the festival. Into the woods, into the woods, into the woods, and out of the woods. And hold before dark.
Cinderella had planted a branch at the grave often and wept so much that her tears had watered it until it had become a handsome tree.
I've been good and I've been kind, Mother, doing only what I learned from you. Why then am I left behind, Mother? Is there something more that I should do? What is wrong with me, Mother? Something must be wrong. I wish.
What, child? Specify. Opportunity is not a lengthy visitor, and good fortune, like bad, can befall when least expected.
I wish.
Do you know what you wish? Are you certain what you wish is what you want? If you know what you want, then make a wish. Ask the tree, and you shall have your wish. Quiver, little tree, silver and gold throw down on me. I'm off to get my wish. Oh, thank you.
Quiet. Silence everywhere, Milky White. Not to my liking.
Hello, Jack!
How do you know my name?
When first I appear, I seem mysterious, but when explained, I am nothing serious.
Say that again.
On your way to market? Might have been there some time ago. Take...
Good day, young lady.
Good day, Mr. Wolf.
Whither away so hurriedly?
To my grandmother's.
And what might be in your basket?
Bread and wine, so grandmother will have something good to make her strong.
And where might your grandmother live?
A good quarter of a league further in the wood. Her house stands under 3 large oak trees.
with that flesh, pink and plump. Hello, little tender and fresh, not one lump. Hello, little girl. This one's especially lush, delicious. Hello, little girl, what's your rush? You're missing all the flowers. The sun won't set for hours. Take your
Mother said straight ahead, not to the later female sweat.
slow, little girl, hard and hush. The birds are singing sweetly. You'll miss the birds completely. You're traveling so fleetly. Grandmother first, then Miss Plum. What a delectable couple! Such a perfection, one brittle, one supple, one moment, my dear.
Follow the path and never stray.
Just so, little girl, any path, so many worth exploring. Just one would be so boring, and look what you're ignoring. Think of those crisp, aging bones, then something fresh on the palate. Think of that scrumptious carnality twice in one day. There's no possible way to describe what you feel when you're talking to your meal.
Mother said not to stray, still I suppose a small delay. Bring my life fresh with hay. Goodbye, Mr. Wolf.
Goodbye, little girl. And hello.
I'll never get that red cape, nor find a golden cow or a yellow slipper. Or was it a golden slipper and a yellow cow? Oh no.
Cow is white as milk, the cape is red as black, the hair is yellow as corn.
What are you doing here?
You forgot your scarf.
You have no business being alone in the wood, and you have no idea what I've come upon here. You would be frightened for your life. Now go home immediately.
I wish to help.
No, the spell is on my house.
Our house.
Only I can lift the spell.
Wait,
The
let's
spell's
lift the
on
spell
my house.
together.
The spell's on more.
The cow is white as...
Milk. Hello there, young man. Hello, sir. What might you be doing with a cow in the middle of the forest? I was on my way to market, but I seem to have lost my way. What? I guess this is goodbye, old pal. You've been a perfect friend. I hate to see us part, old pal. Someday I'll buy you back. I'll see you soon again. I hope that when I do, it won't be on a plate. Take the cow and go home.
I was trying to be helpful.
Magic thieves. We've no reason to believe they're magic, or we can dispel this curse through deceit.
No one would have given him more for this creature. Besides, we did them a favor. At least they'll have some food.
5 beans.
If you know what you want, then you go and you find it and you get it.
Home.
Do we want a child or not? And you give and you take and you bid and you bargain, or you live to regret it.
Please go home.
There are rights and wrongs and in-betweens. No one waits when fortune intervenes. And maybe they're really magic. Who knows? Why you do what you do, that's the point. All the rest of it is chatter.
Look at her, she's right.
The thing you do is pure and intent. If it's meant that it's just a little bit, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
No, what matters is that everyone tells tiny lies. What's important really is the size.
What?
Only 3 more tries and we'll have our prize. When the end's in sight, you'll realize if the end is right, it justifies the beats.
Do I want a child or not? It's a cloak. What's a cloak? It's a joke. It's a stupid little cloak. And a cloak is what you make it, so you take it. Things are only what you need them for. What's important is who needs them more.
And so with newfound determination, that baker went after the red cake. As for the little girl, she was surprised to find her grandmother's cottage door standing open.
Oh dear, how uneasy I feel. Perhaps it's all the sweets. Good day, Grandmother. My, Grandmother, you're looking very strange. What big ears you have.
Oh, the better to hear you with, my dear.
But Grandmother, what big eyes you have.
Oh, the better to see you with, my dear.
But Grandmother, what large hands you have.
The better to hug you with, my dear.
Oh, Grandmother, what a terrible big wet mouth you have.
The better to eat you with.
And scarcely had the wolf said this, than with a single bound he was devouring the little girl. Well, it was a full day of eating for both.
Later being his lad. I should have heeded her advice, but he seemed so nice. And he showed me things, many beautiful things, that I hadn't thought to explore. They were off my path, so I never had dared. I'd been so careful, I never had cared. And he made me feel excited, well, excited and scared. When he said, come in, with that sickening grin, how can I know what was in store? Once his teeth were bared, though I really got scared, well, excited and scared. But he drew me close and he swallowed me down a dark, slimy path where lie secrets that I never want to know. When everything familiar seemed to disappear forever, at the end of the path was granny once again. So I lay in the dark until someone set us free. We're brought to the light, we're back at the start. And I know things now, many valuable things that I hadn't known before. Do not put your faith in a cape and a hood. They will not protect you the way that they should. And take extra care with strangers, even flowers have their dangers. And though scary, it's exciting, nice, it's different than good. Now I know, don't be scared, Granny is right, just be prepared. Isn't it nice to know a lot? And a little bit not.
Ran back through the woods. As for Rapunzel, the witch was careful not to lose this beauty to the outside world, and so shut her within a doorless tower that lay deep within the forest. When the old enchantress paid a visit, she called forth.
Children are a blessing, if you know where they are. Nothing so distressing to us when they keep you guessing, so be sure you don't leave any doors ajar. Make a little world is big enough for me. Perfect, our little world is all it needs to be. Perfect, my hair, combing my hair, only my mother, me and my hair. Our little world is perfect if she just didn't drool. Oh!
gown you're wearing. Were you at the King's Festival?
Yes.
Aren't you the lucky one? Why ever are you in the woods at this hour?
We need to go this way, sir. Let's move! Have you seen a beautiful young woman in a ball gown pass through?
I don't think so, sir.
I think I see her over there.
I've never learned royalty before. I've never anything to royalty before. Thank you. If a prince were looking for me, I certainly wouldn't hide.
Well, what brings you here and with a cow?
Oh, my husband's somewhere in the woods. He's undoing a spell.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Now, the prince, what was he like?
He's a very nice prince. And it's a very nice ball. And when I entered, they trumpeted.
And the prince.
Oh, the prince.
Yes, the prince.
Well, he's tall. Is that all?
Did you dance? Is he charming? They say that he's charming.
We did nothing but dance.
Yes.
And it made a nice change.
Oh, the prince.
Oh, the prince.
Yes, the prince.
He has charm for a prince, I guess.
Yes.
I don't need a wide range. And it's all very strange.
Or are you to return to the festival tomorrow eve?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Or to be pursued by a prince. All that pursues me is tomorrow's bread. What I wouldn't give to be in your shoes.
Will you look over there? An enormous vine growing next to that little cottage.
I mean slippers.
It looks like a giant beanstalk rising into the sky.
As pure as gold.
I must get home.
Wait, I need your shoe.
Hey, get back here!
One midnight gone.
No knot unties itself.
Sometimes it makes you most wishful. I'm not to be touched.
The harder to get, the better to have. Agreed? Agreed.
Never wear off at all.
What me?
Or open your mouth.
The difference between a cow and a bean is a bean can begin an adventure.
Don't hold much.
The prettier the flock and the farther from the path.
You're closer to the family, closer to the line.
The mouth of the wolf's at the end of the world.
So it is not just a couple of words.
Opportunity is not a lengthy visitor. You may know what you need, but to get what you want, better see that you keep what you have.
One midnight gone.
Sometimes it makes you most wishful.
One midnight gone. One midnight gone.
To get what you want, better keep what you
One
have.
midnight gone. One midnight gone.
Into the woods, into the woods, into the woods, and out of the woods and home before.
There are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible giants in the sky. When you're way up high and you look below at the world you've left and the things you know, little more than a glance is enough to show you just how small you are. When you're way up high and you're on your own in a world like none that you've ever known, where the sky is lead and the earth is stone, you're free to do whatever pleases you, exploring things you never dare, cause you don't care when suddenly there's a big, tall, terrible giant at the door. A big, tall, terrible lady giant sweeping the floor. And she gives you food and she gives you rest, and she draws you close to her giant breast. And you know things now that you never knew before. Not till the sky. Only just when you've made a friend and all, and you know she's big, but you don't feel small. Someone bigger than her comes along the hall to swallow you for lunch. And your heart is lead and your stomach stone, and you're really scared being all alone. And it's then that you miss all the things you've known in the world you've left and the little you own. The fun is done. You steal what you can and run, and you scramble down and you look below, and the world you know begins to grow. The house and your mother at the door. The after the sky. There are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible, awesome, scary, wonderful giants in the sky.
Listen to her beautiful music. Lovely.
She's very gifted.
By tomorrow's midnight, deliver the items or you wish you never thought to have a child.
I don't like that woman.
I'm sorry I lost the cow.
I shouldn't have yelled. Now please, go back to the village. I will make things right. And then we can just go on about our lives. No more hunting about in the woods for strange objects. No more witches or dim-witted boys or hungry little girls. Go!
There you are, good brother. Father and I wondered where you had gone. I've been looking all night for her. Her, the beautiful one I danced the evening with. Well, where did she go? She disappeared like the fine morning mist. She was lovely. The loveliest. Oh, I'm not sure of that, good brother. I, too, have found the lovely maiden. She lives here in the woods. The woods? Yes, at the top of a tall tower that has no door or stairs. Where? 2 leagues from here, due east, just beyond the mossy knoll. And how do you manage a visit? Oh, I stand below her tower, and I call out to her, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me. And she lowers the longest, most beautiful head of hair, yellow as corn, which I climb to her. Rapunzel! Rapunzel, Rapunzel! What kind of a name is that? You jest. I've never heard of such a thing. I speak the truth. She's as true as your maiden, a maiden running from a prince. None would run from us. That one has. Did I abuse her or show her disdain? Why does she run from me? If I should lose her, how shall I regain the heart she has won from me? Agony beyond power of speech, when the one thing you want is the only thing out of your reach. High in a tower she sits by the hour, maintaining her hair, lithe and becoming, and frequently humming a light-hearted air. Far more painful than yours, when you know she would go with you, if there only were doors. Agony, all the torture they teach, what's as intriguing, or half so fatiguing, as what's out of reach? Am I not sensitive, clever, well-mannered, considerate, passionate, charming, as kind as I'm handsome and dare to a throne? You are everything maidens could wish for. And why know? I know. The girl must be mad. You know nothing of madness till you're climbing her hair and you see her up there as you're nearing her, all the while hearing her. Agony, misery, woe, it's different for each. Always 10 steps behind, always 10 feet below, and she's just out of reach. Agony that can cut like a knife. I must have her to wife.
children.
I have no children.
That's okay too.
Yes, well, I've not seen your son today.
Oh, I hope he hasn't gone back up the beanstalk again. Quit while you're ahead, I say. Jack! Jack!
Looking for your cow?
Where did you find her? Hello?
What are you doing?
I'm here to make amends.
I want you to stay out of this, old man.
I'm here to see your wish be granted.
You've caused enough trouble, now keep out of my path!
Oh!
Encounter. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let your hair down to me.
Is that you, my prince?
Yes. Oh, excuse me for this. Oh! 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 You do take plenty of spills, don't you?
Hello. It's these slippers. They're not suited for these surroundings.
Actually, they're not much suited for dancing either. I'd say these slippers were as pure as gold.
Yes, they're all you could wish for in beauty.
What I wouldn't give for just one.
One's not likely to do you much good. Was the ball just as wonderful as last evening? Oh, it's still a nice ball.
Yes, and
they have far too much food.
oh, the prince.
Oh, the prince.
Yes, the prince.
If he knew who I really was.
Oh, who?
I'm afraid I was rude.
Oh, how?
Now I'm being pursued.
Yes,
And
and
I'm not in the mood.
he must have really taken a liking to you.
I have no experience with princes and castles and gowns.
Nonsense, every girl dreams of being...
Oh, I must run. And I must have your shoe. Stop that.
I need to have a child.
I need to get out of here.
Where did she go?
Who?
Don't play the fool, woman.
Oh, you mean the beautiful young maiden in the ball gown? She went in that direction. I was trying to hold her here for you.
I can capture my own damsel, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Where did he go?
Who?
The prince, of course.
Oh, in that direction. But you'll never reach him.
What happened if that mongrel with the cow hadn't molested us?
How?
Please, let me just compare this color with that of your own.
He wants to compare our hair to corn.
I thought you were returning home. I've had no luck.
You've the cow.
Yes, I have the cow. I've only 2 of the 4.
3.
2!
3 compared this to your corn.
Where did you find it?
I pulled it from a maiden in a tower.
3!
And I almost had the 4th, but she got away.
We've 1 entire day left. Surely we can locate the slipper by then?
We? You mean you'll allow me to stay?
Well, perhaps it will take the 2 of us to get this child.
You've changed. You're daring. You're different in the woods. More sure. More sharing. You're getting lost in the woods. If you could see, you're not the man who started, and much more open-hearted than I knew you to be.
It takes 2. I thought 1 was enough. It's not true. It takes 2 of us. You came through. When the journey was rough, it took you. took two of us. It takes care, it takes patience and fear and despair to change. You swear to change, you can tell if you do. It takes two.
You've changed, you're thriving. There's something about the woods, not just surviving. You're blossoming in the woods. At home, I fear we'd stay the same forever. And then out here, you're passionate, charming, considerate, clever.
It takes one to begin, but then once you've begun, it takes two of you, it's no fun. But what needs to be done, you can do. When there's two of you, I dare. It's because I'm becoming aware of us. As a pair of us, just stuffed in a share of what's there. We've changed, we're strangers. I meet you in the woods. Who minds what dangers? I know we'll get past the woods. And once we're past, let's hope the changes last. Beyond woods, beyond wishes and slippers and hoods, just the two of us beyond lies, safe at home with our beautiful prize. Just a few of us. It takes just a bit more when we're done. We want four, we have none, we've got three. We need one. It takes two.
But it still isn't near, maybe better than far, but it still isn't there. So near, so far.
Somebody else's child. Look at that dog.
The way you love.
So near,
You're all
so far.
The greatest prize can often lie at the end of the thorniest path.
2 minutes on.
2 minutes
on. 2 midnights gone, and the exhausted baker and his wife buried the dead Milky White.
What did I clearly say? Children must listen. No, please. What were you not to do? Children must see and learn. Why could you not obey? Couldn't you listen? What have I been to you? What would you have me be? Acting like a prince? Oh, but I am old, I am ugly, I embarrass you.
No.
You are ashamed of me.
No.
You are ashamed. You don't understand.
It was lonely atop that tower.
I was not company enough.
I am no longer a child. I wish to see the world.
Don't you know what's out there in the world? Someone has to shield you from the world. Stay with me. Princes wait there in the world, it's true. Princes, yes, but wolves and humans too. Stay at home, I am home.
going, this time I run from him. He's read pitch on the stairs. I was caught unawares. And I thought, well, who cares? This is more than just malice. Better stop and take stock while you're standing here stuck on the steps of the palace. You think, what do you want? You think, make a decision. Why not stay and be caught? You think, well, it's a thought. What would be his response? But then what if he knew who you were when you know that you're not what he thinks that he wants? And then what if you are what a prince would envision? Although how can you know who you are till you know what you want, what you don't? So then which do you pick? Where you're safe out of sight in yourself, but where everything's wrong? Or where everything's right and you know that you'll never be wrong? And whichever you pick, do it quick, because you're starting to stick to the steps of the palace. It's your first big decision. The choice isn't easy to make. To arrive at a ball is exciting and all. Once you're there, though, it's scary. And it's fun to deceive when you know you can leave, but you have to be wary. There's a lot that's at stake, but you've stalled long enough because you're still standing stuck in the stuff on the steps. Better run along home and avoid the collision. Even though they don't care, you'll be better off there where there's nothing to choose, so there's nothing to lose. So you pry up your shoes, then from out of the blue, and without any guide, you know what your decision is, which is not to decide. You just leave him a clue. For example, a shoe, and then see what he'll do. Now it's he and not you who is stuck with a shoe in a stew, in the goo. And you've learned something too, something you never knew, on the steps of the palace. Don't come any closer to me. Please just can't.
What was that noise? Sir! Oh, it's just a bolt of lightning in a far-off kingdom. How dare you take off in search without me? My apologies, sir. I thought I might—
Enough of what you thought! Now, I employed a ruse and had the entire staircase smeared with pitch. And there, when she ran down, remained the maiden's slipper.
Brilliant!
I thought so. It did create quite a mess, though, when the other guest left.
And sir, I have succeeded in obtaining the other slipper.
Give them the slipper and all will come to a happy end.
Who are you, old man?
Oh, and first I appear I seem deleterious, but when explain
Shut up.
that, oh.
Do as he says. He is obviously a spirit of some sort. And we only need one.
Yes.
You know, worrying will do you no good. If he's safe, then he's safe. If he's been killed, well, then there's nothing any of us can do about that now, is there? We must be off. I need my rest before tomorrow's search is to commence.
Doesn't anyone care that a giant has fallen from the sky?
He is dead, is he not?
With such a thought, I suppose.
The third midnight is here. You've all the objects?
Yes, slipper hair.
Kate, cow?
That cow doesn't look as white as milk to me.
Oh, she is. She is.
This cow has been covered with flour.
Well, we did have a cow as white as milk. Honestly, we did.
Then where is she?
She's dead.
We thought you prefer a live cow.
Of course I prefer a live cow. So bring me to the dead cow and I'll bring her back to life.
You could do that?
Ow!
I was so worried about
what?
You heard me. Feed them to the cow. Fill this.
I'll do it. She'll only milk for me. Squeeze, pal.
Wrong ingredients. Forget about a child.
No, you wait one moment. We followed your instructions. 1, that cow is as white as milk, correct?
Yes.
And 2, the cape was certainly as red as blood.
Yes.
And 3, the slipper.
Yes.
And 4, I compared the hair with this ear of corn.
I called it from a maiden in a tower, and
You did what? What were you doing there?
just passing by.
I touched that hair. Don't you understand? I cannot touch the ingredients.
The corn!
What?
The silky hair of the corn! Pull it from the ear and feed it to the cow, quickly!
This had better work, old man. Before the last stroke of midnight, well, your son will be the last of your flesh and blood.
Son?
Oh, please, not now.
Yes, meet your father.
Father? Could that be you? I thought you died in a baking accident.
I didn't want to run from you, son, but
It's working!
She's milking! I don't understand.
Not now, into the cup!
We've given you what you wish.
Now when can we expect a child?
What's wrong?
What's
Where are
happening?
you going?
Son!
Father!
All is repaired.
He's dead!
This is the proper bride for you, fit to attend a prince.
And finally, as for Rapunzel, she bore twins and lived impoverished in the desert until the day her prince, wandering aimlessly, heard a voice that sounded so familiar that he went towards it. As he approached, Rapunzel, overjoyed at the sight of her prince, fell into his arms weeping. 2 of her tears wetted his eyes and their touch restored his vision.
I was going to come and fetch you as soon as you learned your lesson.
Who are you?
Surely you remember.
Mother?
But this is who I truly am. Come with me, we can be as happy as we once were.
She will not go.
Let her speak for herself. You are the only family I know. Come with me. You and those beautiful babies. Please. You leave me no choice.
As is often the way in these tales, in exchange for her youth and beauty, the witch lost her power over others. When the wedding of the prince was celebrated, Lucinda and Florinda attended, hoping to share in Cinderella's good fortune. But, as the sisters stood by the blessed couple, pigeons swooped down upon them and poked out their eyes, punishing them with blindness.
I see your prince has found you.
Yes.
Thank you for the slipper.
I didn't think I'd wed a prince.
I didn't think I'd ever find you.
I didn't think I could be so happy.
And it came to pass all that seemed wrong was now right. The kingdoms were filled with joy, and those who were deserved to were certain to live a long and happy life. Ever after.
Ever after.
Turn me over, all is mended. And it's not just for today, but tomorrow and extended. Ever after.
Ever after.
All the curses have been ended. The reverse is wiped away. All is tenderness and laughter for forever after.
Happy now and happy hence and happy ever after.
Things
We're fighting the future.
In their paths would often swerve. They were constant illusions, but they never lost their nerve. And they reached the right conclusions, and they got what they deserved.
Not a sign, not a sorrow, tenderness and laughter, joy today and bliss tomorrow and forever after.
I was greedy.
I was vain.
I was haughty.
I was happy.
We were happy.
What? It was fun.
And then we went into the woods to get our wish, and now we're really blind.
She's perfect. I had everything but beauty. I had power. And I taught her like a flower in a tower. Then I went into the woods to get my wish, and now I'm ordinary.
We were like glory and like glory and happy now on happiness as well as ever after. And here's our common sense and worthy of our discontent to be happy and forever. You must see your wish come true. Don't be careful, don't be clever. When you see your wish pursue, it's a dangerous endeavor, but the only thing to do. Though it's deep, though it's tough, when you may lose, well, happy make those moves. So it's deep, though it's tough, so you stop, you must stop, stop, and you make those moves. Deep, though it's tough, so you stop, you must stop, stop, and you make those moves. You wish, you can have your wish, but you can't just wish, no, to get your wish. You go into the woods where nothing's clearer, reach is so simple to clear. Into the woods and through the fear, you have to take the journey. Into the woods and down the dell, and make your eyes what who can tell.
Into the woods to lift the spell.
Into the woods to lose the money.
In the woods to have the child. To get the money.
To save a house.
To build a home.
To find a mother. To have, to write, to get, to save, to kill, to keep, to go to the festival. Into the woods. Into the woods. Into the woods and out of the woods.
To be continued.
And happy ever after.
Later,
I
in
wish
the same far-off kingdom,
more than anything,
the young princess, the lad
more
Jack,
than footbed.
and the baker and his family know
I miss more than anything.
More than love,
Their hair.
Wish to start for a festival.
More than life.
Wish to my check for a festival.
More than riches. I miss the kingdom of the sky. More than anything.
I wish we had more.
Another room.
But despite some minor inconveniences, they were all content.
I never thought I'd wed a prince.
I didn't think I'd find perfection. I never thought I could be so happy.
Not an unhappy moment since
Not conceivable objection. I never thought I could be so happy.
happy now, happy hence, happy ever after. We're so happy, you're so happy. Just as long as you stay happy, we'll stay happy. Hot the pens,
With my cow.
Little gurgle.
Darling, I miss gold.
we should really sell it.
Where's my cheese block?
Wishes may bring problems such that you regret them. Better that though than to never get them.
I'm going to be a perfect
Be a
wife.
perfect son. Be a perfect
I'm
mom.
going to see that she is so happy. I never thought I'd love my life. I would have settled for another than to become a woman.
To be set for love. To begin to say that
That
fortune
fortune
smile.
smiled. I'm so happy. If only this cottage were a little larger.
And we'll expand our quarters in due time.
Why expand? We could simply move to another cottage.
You will not move. This was my father's house, and now it will be my son.
You raise your child alongside a witch.
Why does he always cry when I hold him?
That baby's crying, he's fine. You didn't told him as if he were so
He
fragile.
wants his mother here.
I can't take care of him all the time.
I'll care for him when he's older. We had to go through thick and thin.
I get your child so within. I never thought I'd be so much I hadn't been. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness.
Are you all right?
I think so.
And the baby?
Yes, he's fine. Are you all right?
You! Have you done this to our house?
Always thinking of yourself. Look what happened to my garden.
Part of your garden.
Look.
Destroyed.
What has happened?
I was thrown to the ground. I saw nothing.
What could do such a thing?
An earthquake?
No earthquake. My garden has been trampled. Those are footprints.
Who could do such a thing?
Anything that leaves a footprint that large is no who.
Do you think it was a bear?
Bears? Bears were sweet. Besides, you ever see a bear with 40-foot feet?
A dragon?
No scorch marks. Usually they're winged.
Magic horse.
Imaginary. Extinct.
Giant?
Possible. Very, very possible.
A giant.
Maybe we should tell someone.
Who are you going to tell?
The royal family, of course.
The royal family! I wouldn't count on the royal family to snuff out a rat. But the giants will all have to go to battle. Giant's the worst. A giant has a brain. Hard to admit a giant. A giant's just like us, only bigger. Much, much bigger. So big that we're just an expendable little bug beneath its foot.
Weather's clear, we've been before without to fear. Into the woods away from here.
To the woods to find a giant.
To the woods to grandmother's house.
Into the woods the path is straight, no reason then to hesitate.
Into the woods, it's not so late, it's just another journey. Into the woods, but not too long. The stars are strange, the wind is long. Into the woods to see what's wrong.
To the woods to slay a giant.
Into the woods to shield the giant.
To find the future.
To shield,
To slay, to find.
to fix, to hurt,
To battle.
to see what the trouble is.
What's the matter? What's wrong?
Who can't catch the potato?
Every knot was one straight rope.
The harder to wait, the better to have.
Excuse me.
Greater the good, the harder the blow.
When going to hide, you know how to get there.
How to get back.
And eat first.
The knife that is sharp today may be dull by tomorrow.
Now we can all return home. And let us hope there will be no more killing. Where am I to go? I have no one to take care of me. You have to take care of yourself now, Jack. It's time.
No, it's not. I'll take care of him.
You will?
Yes, I'll be your mother now.
I don't want another mother. I want a friend. And a pet.
Of course, we have nowhere to go. So we'll move in with you.
Oh, no.
It'll be fun.
My house is a shambles and there's hardly room for... Of course you can come home with us. And you shall come too! Will not return to the castle?
I'll gladly help you with your house. There are times when I actually enjoy cleaning. How proud your wife would have been of you.
And how sad it is that my son will never know her. Maybe I just wasn't meant to have children.
Say that of course you were meant to have
And
children.
how can I go about being a father with no one to mother my child?
Just calm the child.
Yes, calm the child.
Look, tell him the story of how it all happened. Be father and mother. You'll know what to do.
Alone.
Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Do not let it grieve you. No one leaves for good. You are not alone. No one is alone. Hold him to the light now. Let him see the glow.
proved a young maiden,
Children will
a
listen.
sad young lad.
Careful the things you do. Children will see.
Childless baker
And learn.
of his wife.
Children may not obey, but children will listen. Children will look to you for which way to turn, to learn what to be. Careful before you say, listen to me. Children will listen.
Careful the wish you make. Wishes are children. Careful the path they take. Wishes come true. Not free. Careful the spell you cast. Not just on children.
Sometimes the spell may last.
That's what you can see, and turn as you.
Careful the tale you tell, that is the spell. Children will listen.
Those seatbelts are gonna be made loose. The path we make our souls. Those seatbelts are just in. Tackles help you get to the road. You catch us back, you have to think. There are always wolves, there are always smells, there are always things, there are giant roses. So into the woods you go again. You have to every now and then. Into the woods, they'll tell you when. Be ready for the journey. Into the woods, but not too fast. For what you wish you lose at last.
Into the woods, but mind the past.
Into the woods, but mind the future.
Into the woods, but not to stray.
Or tempt the wolf, or silver the giant. The way is dark, the light is dim. But now there's you, me, her, and him.
The chances look small.
The choices look grim. But everything you learn there will help when you return there.
The light is getting dimmer. I think I see a glimmer.